Hi, everybody, welcome to our channel, The Scary Tales. Our horror stories for you today, it's about Ouija boards. Our scary and horror stories are designed to send chills down your spine. Enjoy the spine-tingling stories thrill. 1. The Devil's Game. Mark and his friends wanted a thrill, so they snuck into an abandoned house rumored to be haunted. They brought a Ouija board and asked, "Is anyone here?" The planchette moved. Yes. They laughed, thinking one of them was pushing it. "What's your name?" The board spelled Lucifer. The candles flickered violently. The air became suffocatingly hot. Mark's friend Josh scoffed. "Yeah, right." Then the board spelled run. A loud bang came from upstairs, followed by the sound of heavy footsteps coming toward them. They ran. As Mark glanced back, he saw something standing in the darkness. A tall, horned figure with burning red eyes. They never spoke of that night again. 2. The woman in the mirror, Emma, was babysitting her younger cousin Lily when they found an old Ouija board in the attic. Thinking it was a game, they decided to try it. "Is anyone here?" The board responded, "Yes." "Who are you?" "Look." Emma frowned. "Look where?" "Mirror." Lily turned to face the large mirror in the hallway and screamed. In the reflection, a pale woman with black, sunken eyes was standing right behind Emma. But when Emma turned around, there was no one there. She smashed the mirror the next morning, but every time she passed another mirror, she felt watched. And sometimes, she swears she sees a shadow behind her. 3. The room that shouldn't exist. After moving into an old Victorian house, Jason and his girlfriend Mia found a dusty Ouija board in the basement. They decided to play. "Is there a spirit here?" The board spelled yes. "Where?" "Secret room." Confused, they asked, "What secret room?" The planchette moved. "Look." The next day, Jason noticed a crack in the wall behind a bookshelf. He pushed the shelf aside and found a hidden door. Inside was a small, dusty room with a single chair in the center. On the walls, scratched into the wood, were the words, "Let me out." They moved out the next week. 4. The scratching at the door. Jake and his roommates played with a Ouija board in their apartment. They asked, "What do you want?" The board spelled, "Let me in." The next night, they heard scratching at their front door. It sounded like nails dragging down the wood. When Jake looked through the peephole, he saw nothing. But when he turned off the lights and looked again, there was a tall, shadowy figure standing there. It had no face, but it was grinning. They never played the board again, but the scratching continued for 3 more nights. Then it stopped, but sometimes at night, they hear footsteps in the hallway. 5. The whispering children. Samantha and her sister found a Ouija board in an abandoned church. They brought it home and started asking questions. "Who are we speaking to?" The planchette spelled children. Samantha asked, "Where are you?" "Underground." That night, they heard whispers coming from the basement, soft giggles, scratching sounds. When their parents had the basement floor replaced, they made a horrifying discovery: small skeletons buried beneath the floorboards. The church had been built over an orphanage that burned down. They threw the Ouija board away. But the whispers never stopped. 6. The man with no eyes. David and his friends used a Ouija board in an abandoned hospital. "Who are we talking to?" The board spelled, "Seeing you." David asked, "Where are you?" "Next to you." One of his friends screamed and dropped the board. David turned and saw a shadowy man standing behind him. His face was completely smooth, no eyes, no mouth, no nose. They ran out of the hospital, but David kept seeing the faceless man in his dreams. Then one night, he woke up, and the man was standing at the foot of his bed. 7. The girl in the closet. A teenage girl named Lily used a Ouija board alone in her room. "Is someone here?" The board spelled, "Yes." "What's your name?" "Maria." Lily asked where Maria was, and the board spelled, "Closet." The closet door creaked open. The next morning, Lily's mother found her sitting in the closet, facing the wall, whispering. When she touched Lily's shoulder, the girl turned around and smiled with black, rotten teeth. Lily was never the same again. 8. The hands that weren't there. James and his sister played with a Ouija board in their grandmother's house. Is there a spirit here? The board spelled, yes. What do you want? Touch. They laughed until they both felt cold fingers brush their shoulders. No one else was in the room. Later that night, James woke up feeling something pressing down on his chest. But when he looked, there was nothing there. 9. The boy in the walls. Ellie's family moved into a new house and found a Ouija board under the floorboards. When she used it, the board spelled, help. Who are you? She asked. The boy. Where are you? Inside the walls. They heard knocking inside the walls that night. When they had construction workers check, they found a child's skeleton hidden inside. No one knows how he got there, but sometimes they still hear knocking. 10. The thing that followed me home. Lisa played with a Ouija board at a friend's house. She asked, will something bad happen? The board spelled, yes. Later that night, as she walked home, she heard footsteps behind her. She turned around. No one was there. But every time she stopped walking, the footsteps stopped too. When she reached her house, her bedroom lights flickered. That night, she woke up to a voice whispering, I'm here now. She never played with a Ouija board again. The end.